Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. Thank you for joining me. Now, this one, I can't explain. I don't even know how it even possibly was allowed to happen. But apparently in Rochester, New York, the thing to do if you're a police officer is to mace 9-year-old children. Apparently, that is the in thing to do. Every day I see posts on Facebook and get comments from people telling me I need to back the blue, that I need to support the police. And I try. I really do. And then I see stories like this, and you wonder why people are out there saying defund the police, fuck the police. You wonder. Now, the story I'm talking about is the 9-year-old girl who was maced by police in Rochester, New York. Her mother called because there was a family disturbance. Apparently threats of violence and stuff from a 9-year-old. You know, 9-year-olds throw temper tantrums. That's the only thing I'll say to this mother. It is your job as a parent to control them. I don't really believe you need to call the police to take care of a temper tantrum. But I digress. I don't blame the mother for this situation, though. I blame the police 100%. This child was having an episode. What she needed was a counselor, a psychologist, not police officers who have better things to do. They drug her out of her house, threw her into the snow to cuff her. At one point, one of the officers tells the kid, "You're acting like a child." To which the child responds, "I am a child." If you ask me, that sounds like a child being a child, having a temper tantrum. But they get her cuffed, and then they try to drag her into the squad car. And when she doesn't go easily into the squad car, what do? They pepper spray her. Right in the eyes. And then right afterwards, shut the door on her and leave her in there. Now, I understand kids can't be allowed to act insane. I get it. And I get the police were called for this situation because there was a problem. But when a parent calls the police, they're not asking you to harm their child. They're asking the police for help, to help their child get the help they need. I had a friend earlier that says, well, you can't lump all police officers together. And maybe that was true 20 years ago. But do you hear any police officers right now speaking up and out of the Rochester Police Department saying this was wrong? No, you don't. In fact, the union for the city's police department is like, well, we're so stressed out going from job to job, and who cares? I don't give a goddamn. Everybody that has jobs, have stress. Could you imagine if a doctor in an emergency room repeatedly harmed people because he was stressed out because there was too many COVID patients? Police must sit there and act like they're stressed. What about the nurses and the doctors in the ERs right now? Or hell, at any given point in time, with or without COVID? They don't get to go around harming people or killing people in some instances, as we see with the police, because they're too stressed out, too overworked. I don't give a damn. But literally, they pepper sprayed a 9-year-old because she wouldn't comply and wouldn't get in the car willingly. A 9-year-old Things like this cannot happen. And this is why I cannot back the blue. This is why I cannot support the police. I have tried for years to understand, and tried for years to continue supporting the police. I have tried. But when I see stories like this, I don't have the ability to trust them. What are we supposed to think? There need to be major changes in this country the way we do law enforcement. New training, new something. Because this can't be allowed to happen. And the fact that you cannot fire a police officer on the spot for harming a child, let alone murdering somebody, is insane. One officer is suspended with pay, mind you. And 2 others are on leave with pay. The mayor of Rochester, Mayor Warren of Rochester, says what happened Friday is simply horrible and has rightly outraged all of our community. Unfortunately, state law and union contract prevents me from taking more immediate and serious action. And she goes on to say, I will leave the charge against these laws to be changed in response to the governor's executive order 203, and we'll be talking to legislators to try to get rules changed. That pertains to the fact that the officers couldn't be suspended without pay, without the investigation completing. There is no investigation to make. It's right there on video. This is why we have body cameras, so they can't freaking lie to the people. At any point, did they try to calm the child down? No. At any point during the entire time, from the time they threw her to the snow to the car, they didn't try one time to calm her down. When she screamed for her father, not one person stood up and said, hey, we'll go try to find him. Not one person. There's 3 officers on scene. And not one thought, maybe we can calm this child down. Do you really think throwing a kid into the snow and cuffing them and then spraying them with mace is going to calm them the fuck down? No. I am beyond infuriated. I'm beyond reason here. I don't understand how these people are still allowed to walk the same streets as you and I. Just imagine if anybody watching this video happened to just throw mace on a child. You'd be in jail for assaulting a child, harming a child. Yet these officers get to go free. I guarantee you there'll be no charges. There haven't been charged against anybody else worth a damn. Most of the other officers get off. Even if they go to trial, they get off. And what are they going to do here? Say, oh, well, she was unruly. Her fault. She should have complied. She's a child. These officers should be ashamed of themselves. They should be stripped of their badges. They should not be allowed to be police officers anywhere in this country again. They should lose their jobs. They should lose their benefits. They should never be able to put on a uniform again as long as they live. I'm surprised there haven't been major protests and riots over shit like this. This isn't right. This should not happen in America. Excessive force against a child. Congratulations, you losers. Like I said, I've tried. I've tried my damnedest to continue supporting the good police officers But when the good police officers refuse to stand and speak, I can no longer support them. Let me know in the comments what you think about this situation. But I can tell you right now, my opinion ain't changing. I'm done with the police. I'm done trying to understand. If what you're going to do is harm children because they're having a temper tantrum, I will not support you. You want to know how the police could better their situation in the eyes of people across this country? The good ones could actually speak up. I understand there's this thin blue line bullshit they do. You know, which basically at the end of the day says, we'll defend you no matter what terrible things you do to people. I mean, hell, here in Oklahoma, I heard about a story of a cop who raped a teenager repeatedly over the course of hours. He's still a cop. Was found not guilty. Go figure. I don't understand it. Maybe you do. Please, in the comments below, if you understand any idea on what's going on here with these people and why they think it's okay to harm children and spray them with mace for no damn reason at all, except for the fact they're having a tantrum, let me know. Otherwise, these cops need more training. They need to be more understanding of the situations they go into. And I understand it's a tough job. But you know, I don't hear doctors and nurses, like I said, complaining about the stress after they've killed somebody. They usually say, hey, that's on me. They usually take the blame if they've done something wrong. But until we start holding officers accountable, and the good officers start standing up against the bad officers, nothing's going to change. I am just so beyond understanding. Luckily, this child will be okay. At least physically. Couldn't imagine the emotional and other psychological effects that she's going to be dealing with just because of this, let alone the obviously terrible family situation. She's obviously in a bad spot. Obviously just needed help. Anyways, this has been the Big Ranch Show. I'll see you down the road.